These two puzzles may look the same, but they are not the same. One of them is an FTO, and one of them is a CTO. What the difference is? Face Turning Octahedron, FTO. Corner Turning Octahedron, CTO. That's the difference. Now, FTO has become reasonably popular over the last year or so, and it was somewhat popular before then anyway. But when the DianSheng FTO was released, just over a year ago, it revolutionized FTO because suddenly you had hardware that actually turned well. And then a month or two later, Dian released the Dian FTO, which is slightly bigger and turns even better. There are also less notable releases from Shengxiao and Qiyi, but most people will either get the DianSheng FTO, which is £15, or the Dian, which is £24. But now DianSheng have also released this, which is a CTO. Now this is actually quite a lot easier to solve. It turns on the corners, and it has quite a bit of relation to Pyraminx. For example, you can do the same two-flip alg like this to flip two edges. So let's just mess this up a bit more. You could also twist the corners like that, but I'm just not going to do that for this solve because there's really no point. It doesn't add anything to the video. Right, so this can be solved quite easily. It's just a case of inserting pieces. This step is pretty much just the same as Pyraminx. Match these three up, insert this, and then move that around, insert that, that. So just a bit like Pyraminx, but more of it. I guess kind of like how Megaminx is a bit like 3x3, but more of it in some ways. And then this piece needs to be inserted in, and then sledge that in. Then we can do some soons. And then it's just a two flip to finish it off. So I don't know how much interest this will get, how many people will be trying to speed solve it. It is pretty tedious to speed solve, especially if you're not used to this sort of stuff, but then to be fair, I have the same problem with Pyraminx. I just find it tedious to turn a Pyraminx, but that's probably just because I haven't practiced it and can't finger trick stuff like that properly. If Edward Burgess was watching me, he would not be happy, but that's just the reality. So this could be an interesting puzzle that people could get into. It also comes in a non-magnetic version, but I'm not going to bother stocking that probably, unless people say they'll be interested, because I don't see the point really. People can afford to spend £14 for the magnetic one that turns way better. So yeah, you think these are the same, but they're not. And I'm going to leave these at my stalls, and people will just have to be surprised when they see, oh, these don't turn the same. What happened?